This is BBC Television.
This is BBC One.
Now we come to episode 4 of the serial Smuggler's Bay, called A Reward of £50, and in it...
On BBC Two now, another Western story of the High Chaparral. On BBC One, for the first time in colour, Panorama.
Tonight's feature film was made some 5 years earlier and brought to world prominence Liza Minnelli. Joel Grey and Michael York join her in Bob Fosse's famous atmospheric musical, Cabaret.
Well, in 5 minutes, Pete and Kathy are in for a shock when they return to Albert Square. Before that, a look ahead to a new drama series beginning soon on Saturday nights.
Just before Grandstand here on BBC One, time to find out what the weather holds in store with Peter Cockcroft. Your weekend fix of sport now on BBC One in Grandstand with Steve Ryder and Sue Barker.
News in the southeast now on BBC One. With bolt of lightning sends robot number 5 AWOL with a childish taste for mischief now on BBC One. Madcap misadventure in Short Circuit.
It's all action at Holby General in 20 minutes. First on BBC One, may the voice be with you. Patching up the casualties of love and war now on BBC One to Holby A&E.
This is BBC One. Now from the Cenotaph in London, Remembrance Sunday, introduced by Tom Fleming. At 2:25 this afternoon, Hayley Mills stars in the film classic Pollyanna. Before that, BBC One's off to Walford to catch up on the week's events in Albert Square.
Cartoon fun now on BBC One on the Isle of Pingo Pongo. Children in Need Night is on Friday, November the 20th, and fundraising is well underway. But who are the children who need your help? Gabby Roslin's been finding out. This programme contains dramatic reconstructions of domestic violence.
One. Now, a panorama investigation by Mark Killick.
And Clearly Dangerous right now on BBC One, telling stories that are best not told.
EastEnders in half an hour. First on BBC One, David Seaman and John Virgo compete in the kitchen in Celebrity Ready, Steady Cook.
Now on BBC One, a tough task for Billy in Neighbours.
Before we fly the carry-on flag, the best of British starts on BBC One with a man who's been rocking and rolling for the last 40 years. Cliff Richard.
The midweek National Lottery draw with Lottery Extra just half an hour away on BBC One after green peppers take on red tomatoes. So now on BBC One, just what we need. Waiting for your call. This is BBC One.
Also tonight, an actor, director, musician and poet, an all-round star gets the Big Red Book treatment in This Is Your Life in half an hour. First on BBC One, it's Happy Birthday Phil, although you wouldn't know it. A difference of opinion gets a bit out of hand, temper tantrums in changing rooms in 35 minutes, and then a wedding under threat. 2,000 Acres of Sky concludes at 9:10 here on BBC One.
Very expensive tastes now on BBC One as Jerry Hall adds a touch of class to Hotel Babylon.
So the National Lottery Jet Set 2012 with the Dream Number Olympic draw here on BBC One in half an hour after a roller coaster ride with the medics on the NHS front line.
Fresh new comedy now on BBC One, looking even sharper on BBC HD. The perfect parent he isn't, and reality is about to hit home for Jimmy Venables. After You've Gone.
Quick news summary now on BBC One from Maxine Mouini.
As part of Holy Week, Rick Wakeman discovers the history of one of the world's most popular songs, Amazing Grace. That's in 45 minutes after One Life. So, Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland and James Garner are the ageing pilots sent into space in 10 minutes. First on BBC One, I'll hand over to the ever-youthful Alan Dedicoat from Wealdstone.
Dawn's made her escape, but she's not out of the woods just yet. EastEnders in half an hour. First on BBC One, a battering at sea to bring in the catch.
They've grown, baked and knitted their way to the Great British Village Show. Alan Titchmarsh meets the prize winners in 35 minutes. First on BBC One, a special Songs of Praise with Pam Rhodes.
This is BBC One in Yorkshire.
Check in to 5-star luxury drama now on BBC One, and with added gloss in high definition on BBC HD. Back for a new series, it's The Height of Fashion at the Hotel Babylon.
Plans for a second Mrs. Rochester in ruins here on BBC One now. Distraught and alone, the future looks bleak for Jane Eyre.
Football Focus, just half an hour away. First on BBC One, when you come home from doing what you love, there's nothing more satisfying than a wholesome supper from you-know-who.
Good morning. From today, you might notice our TV channels look a little bit different. We hope you like it. Right now on BBC One, it's time for breakfast.